us, no tropical threats at this point. The Gulf somehow continuing very quiet. We'll get more into detail with that in a second, but also looking nice outside right now. We do have clouds billowing up, that hot feel certainly here at 90 degrees for the Kenner Airport right now. And factoring in the dew point, which has nudged up a little bit since yesterday, it's kind of fluctuated slightly day to day. Our feels like temperature more like 97. So still that summery kind of feel at times. Mornings and evenings, though, not terrible because of that humidity, which isn't excessive. We will have a couple of stray showers here and there, but mostly we stay dry this week. And we do expect probably a new tropical storm to form in the Atlantic. It will not be a threat here, it looks like at this point. We'll show you more in just a second, as I mentioned. Right now, just our local forecast to look at really quickly. 80s to about 90 for our air temperatures. We have on live radar actually some rain, so this is something a little different. Just passing around the Hammond area near Killian and Lake Maurepas, I-55. Some small thunderstorms, a little bit of lightning actually showing up with these downpours. They're small, they're kind of moving to the south and southeast. Couple here in Pearl River County and outside of Folsom. And one more downpour approaching Jean Lafitte, moving mainly north to south. If you're in the city, though, the metro area itself pretty dry right now. In fact, completely dry at lunchtime. And we'll see if we are able to kind of wrangle some of those showers here and there to help us out with this dry spell. We have surface high pressure to our north. We've also been under the influence of an upper high, but it's beginning to break down and has allowed this little disturbance here to bring a couple of showers off to our north and a couple forming over our area as well. So we do keep a low chance of rain today at near 20% or so. I wouldn't get too hopeful, but if you do get a downpour, that could help you out with your lawn and gardens. Our high temperature expected about 92. The average right now, 88. So above average temperatures. Pretty pleasant evening. Any rain should be wrapping up. North of the lake, lows in the upper 60s like we've been lately for a fairly comfy feel. And south of the lake, lows about 74. Looking at precision cast quickly, you can see it's picking up on just a tiny bit of shower action here. This is by 8 p.m. We're mostly quiet. Now we'll move into tomorrow and just glance at our forecast. It looks like there may be a few more showers, but possibly staying outside of our area, more to the west, maybe toward Baton Rouge, Lafayette tomorrow with that slightly higher chance of rain. And we do have in the bright yellow here indicating abnormally dry conditions from our drought monitor. So not quite at the moderate or extreme drought levels yet, but we'll see what happens if we continue for the next week plus with no rain, as we're expecting really no huge rain event to happen in that time. So abnormally dry conditions is what we have going right now. In the tropics, we have these two spots to watch. Of course, the bigger one that we're watching here, and if you look at the satellite behind our big blotches where they might actually develop, you can see it is starting to take on a little better organization and starting to look a little bit more impressive. It has a 90% chance now of developing into a depression, or it would get the name Gabrielle if it did become a tropical storm. You can see it takes this path off to the north. We'll talk about in a second. There's one more wave. This one is not looking like it'll last very long. They give it a low chance of development. So this one might actually kind of fizzle as it comes behind. But then we are seeing a lineup of a few more tropical waves coming off of the coast of Africa over the next maybe week plus. So we will see what happens. For example, this would be a new wave after that second one that you saw with the yellow highlighting kind of fizzles. This would be what is potentially a tropical storm. Most models bringing it to tropical storm as opposed to hurricane status. And look at this, it takes that familiar jog to the north and curves out to the north and then eventually northeast. And it's all thanks to this upper pattern with the big high. Now, this is the high that we talk about a lot, and it's located between these two islands, Bermuda and the Azores, and this placement and strength of this critical high can determine whether these storms keep on curving to the north or whether they get stuck on a more westward trajectory. So when it shifts westward and strengthens in summer, it can just propel those storms toward the Gulf, but sometimes it shrinks to the east and it curves the storms north over the ocean. It is also can kind of change names. Bermuda Azores High is the official name, but it can become the Bermuda High if it's closer to Bermuda, or the Azores High if it's closer to the other side of the ocean. In either case, no threats here. 7-day forecast shows our continued 90s all the way into the weekend.